Taxes was feeling so stuck. Sitting in traffic, squeezing into a parking spot, all to squeeze in getting tax help during your lunch break. Now Taxes is a TurboTax expert who does your taxes for you, while you go about your day getting real-time notifications about their progress and the most money back guaranteed. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. Get an expert now on TurboTax.com. Only available with TurboTax Live Full Service, real-time updates only in iOS mobile apps. See guarantee details at TurboTax.com/guarantees.
Everybody says it's nice. Can I come and visit? I'll be at your house tonight. They tell me it's soft to touch and really smooth. I can hardly wait to feel that pussy too. You wanna play with pussy all the time. To hide that kind of pussy is a crime. You say your pussy's clever and so slick, but I think that your pussy's kinda sick. I wanna see your pussy. Show it to me. Let me see your pussy. Show it to me. Show me your pussy. Show it to me. I wanna fetch your pussy. Show it to me.
There is nothing like Lords of Acid.
Little pussy round for your enjoyment and pleasure. Auditory delectables.
I almost played this one.
Darling, come here, fuck me up deep.
I Want to Be Screwed by You is also a good song.
Ooh, Rough Sexes. Love Lords of Acid. So we were talking about the part one and the part two.
Yep.
And the part two brought in some characters that I truly loved, including BJ Honeycutt, who you've already mentioned, Charles Winchester, who was
David Ogden Stiers.
Yeah. Mike Farrell played BJ Honeycutt.
Yep. Sherman Potter by Harry Morgan.
Sherman Potter. The one of my favorite characters who kind of came in and out of the series, but that is there he is. No, that's not him. There he is, played by Alan Arbus.
Is that the real skinny guy in the mess tent?
Major Sidney Friedman.
The psychiatrist.
The psychiatrist who plays alongside the priest.
Yeah, quite often, yeah.
Where's my priest?
Father Mulcahy.
Father Mulcahy. Yeah, they work hand in hand through the whole thing. Now, the neat thing about Sidney is that he actually did his first episode, and I think it was 1973. But then he was kind of left out for a while. And his big introduction was when McLean's character, Henry Blake, dies. And he comes into camp to basically evaluate everyone that's there, figure out how they're dealing with Henry dying and all that.
The audiences hated that episode. Hated it.
Oh, it was not a happy time. Well, it was the first time in the series where a major character died because of the war.
Yeah.
And the impact. I can't believe we're talking about this too. I sit on acid. Yeah, the impact. I mean, the audiences did not want Henry Blake to be killed, first off.
Yeah.
He finally deserved his retirement. And he dies on his way home.
Yeah, that was messed up. I mean, it was a good thing about, it was a good reflection of the war and how useless the waste of life was in the war. And, I get why they wanted to do it, but it was rough.
I get it as well, but the audience reaction was insane.
Well, that's because those first 3 seasons, it was all comedy, and it was like, I think basically the writers were like, yeah, we're turning a corner here. Hold my beer.
But as we rolled into the new era, the new characters were completely different from the characters that they were replacing.
I think you had to do that. To keep the show fresh, you had to have different dynamics coming into the picture. Otherwise, it was just, it's almost like those TV shows that replace a character with a different actress playing the same character, and they just don't do it as well. It just wouldn't fly. So they went with like a diametrically opposite, like Frank was, the, what do they call him? Weasel? No, ferret face.
Yeah.
He was this like wussy, whiny, mealy little, David Ogden Stiers was all class and decorum and just very different.
Freaking drank tea in the tent in the swamp.
And drank sherry and listened to classical music, and and Sherman Potter was the same way. He was, a very good surgeon, but had been regular Army for years and years and years. He
was a staunch soldier, where Henry Blake let stuff slide.
Yeah, but at least he enjoyed drinking with the boys, and so everybody got along. It was,
I almost called him Harry Potter. Sherman Potter was old school, where Blake wasn't. And this is really where the dynamic changed in MASH, where it became more of a realistic look with
a little bit
comedy undertones.
This was the change from comedy with dramatic to a drama with comedy added to it.
Now we have to remember that the change happened in 1977.
It was like season 3 or 4, basically.
Which is 3 years after the Vietnam War ended.
Yeah, the series went on 11 years. The war went on for 3.5.
Yeah. But I kind of really got into MASH when the change happened. There was a bit more realism. There was a bit more real life issues that they had to deal with. And it actually kind of expanded the show. I don't think the show would have lasted as long as it did if they hadn't done the big shift from
Comedy to drama.
yeah.
And I think they realized that like the people that were watching the show would still enjoy the comedy bits, but I mean, like the world was growing up a little bit. The war has been over for a while. It's like they had to change course in order to stay relevant and to stay at the top of the ratings, which ultimately is what a TV show wants to do. But they did it in a smart way. They didn't rehash stuff. They didn't try to like substitute the same character for the same character. They just, like, okay, we're making a left turn here, making a left turn over here, and it's going to be, it's going to change a lot of the stuff, but it's going to allow us a lot more freedom to do a lot more different things and explore different avenues and keep it fresh.
So let me ask you a question. Very simple question.
7.
BJ Honeycutt, Trapper John.
I like BJ's character more, but once again, he had a lot more years to flesh out his character than and the writers allowed that to happen where they couldn't really allow it to happen in the first 3 series. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now,
they could. I mean, if Trapper had stayed, they very, very well may have allowed his character to grow, and it would have been interesting. I mean, I like the actor. I think it would have done a fine job if they had made a left turn in his character, like his wife divorced him, or I don't whatever that could have happened. But I think it would have done fine. But I do like Honeycutt. He's okay. Much more grounded character.
Wayne Rogers was really a great actor, and I enjoyed his portrayal. But Mike Farrell really kind of got me going because
I mean, he was that secret prankster. I mean, he was the voice of reason, but there was mischief there when there had to be mischief there. He was just a lot of fun.
Always putting stuff into Winchester's sleeping bag, and I mean, yes, I loved him. Kind of reminded me of the movie.
He was married to Nurse Abel
in real life.
In real life, Judy Farrell, who was also a writer, she appeared in MASH in '76. Farrell appeared in 1975, so he got to work with his wife on set for quite a few years.
Wow. Did you know? Oh God, I'm going into my trivia now. The photo that Potter kept on his desk was his real wife.
Oh, nice. Did you know that there were 2 people in that cast that actually served in the U.S. Army?
No.
Alan Alda and Jamie Farr both served in the Army. Farr actually wears his own dog tags from when he left the Army in 1959. So there's his real dog tags he's wearing in the show.
That's awesome. Did you know that Father Mulcahy was almost written off of the show?
No.
William Christopher contracted an almost fatal case of hepatitis at the start of the 5th season, resulting in having to miss several episodes. As a result, the producers planned to write Father Mulcahy out of the show.
Oh my gosh.
Do you know why he stayed in the show.
Hmm.
Alan Alda.
Nah.
Alan Alda basically said, no.
Nope, he's staying. Yeah, he took over producing that show after season 4, I believe. He also wrote 13 episodes. He directed 31 episodes, including some of those ones that did not have a laugh track, like Dreams from season 8. And he won. Oh, they were nominated for like over 100 Emmys and won 14, I believe.
You know, I can actually expand on this a little bit.
Okay.
Alan Alda went as far as to write an episode to incorporate Christopher's real life illness into Mulcahy,
Wow, cool.
helping to convince producers to keep him on the show. But I didn't tell you the reason that Alan Alda went to bat for him.
And what would that be?
Alan Alda pushed to keep him on the series, knowing how dependent Christopher was on needing steady work to help raise his autistic son.
Oh, shit. That's really cool.
So, Alan Alda, well, I've always said Alan Alda is probably one of the classiest guys in Hollywood and always has been. I loved him on The West Wing. A great guy, but he went as far, because he was one of the writers as well as a producer, he was able to do this. And that's awesome. Cool.
You know, Alda asked the character Meg Farrell's character to grow a mustache.
I do remember this.
Yeah, it basically he just wanted to distinguish the two actors apart from each other. So he's like, "Yeah, I think he should grow a mustache," because Mike Farrell was clean shaven when we first started.
Yeah. Radar O'Reilly's teddy bear was in the Smithsonian. Radar's teddy bear, once housed at the Smithsonian, was sold at auction in 2005. Do you know how much it sold for?
$8,000, maybe.
$11,000.
But that guy ended up selling it back to Gary Berghoff, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was originally found on the Fox Ranch where the series was filmed and became part of the show. You already talked about Klinger. Often mentions his restaurant in hometown Toledo called Tony Paco's, specializing in what?
Hungarian hot dogs?
Yes, sir. The real life restaurant is on Toledo's east side and is still there.
Initially, they named all the nurses for the old military phonetic alphabet. Abel for A, Baker for B, Charlie for C. And I guess they started running out of names for characters at some point. They just started using baseball players' names.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, you know, if you were injured and in the ER, they would just give you a football player's name or a baseball player's name or whatever.
So, well, we already talked about this. All the replacement characters, BJ, Colonel Potter, Charles, lasted longer in the series than the originals.
Yep.
We already talked about Wayne Rogers. We talked about Klinger was only going to appear in one episode, but they loved him.
It was something about Lenny Bruce made a joke about getting out of the Navy for acting really gay, and that's kind of what they based Klinger's character off of originally.
Now, I made a statement earlier that Gary Berghoff was the only one to come from the movie to the TV show, and I stand incorrected.
Well, he was the only major character.
Yeah. Gary Berghoff was the first actor cast. He was one of only two actors to reprise a role from the movie. G. Wood played General Hammond, but he was only in a few episodes.
Are you talking about the colonel who had the other football team?
G. Wood. No, this is the general who
Yeah, that was the guy who had the other football team.
let's see. Was this the
Brigadier General Hammond?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. He's the only one that actually played in the
Oh, and he played the exact same part in the TV series in 72. No shit.
Yep.
I did not know that. But it was only one episode.
Oh,
It was 3. I take it back. It was 3 episodes. Fair enough.
here we go. The death of Colonel Blake was largely controversial and polarizing amongst television viewers and critics. While it was known that McLean Stevens was permanently leaving the series, no one expected to see him killed off. Killed off in such a manner. And such a move was largely unprecedented for primetime television series at the time. We talked about how most television series, they want the happy ending.
Yeah.
This was not the happy ending, and writers and producers actually defended the move. And in the end, you go back and watch MASH from the beginning to the end, it makes sense.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I don't think they gave the cast that last page. They didn't give any of the cast except for Alda the last page. Gave the last page to Berghoff and had him go in there. They did that in 2 takes. So those were all pretty real reactions.
Yeah. Hey, do you remember the opening credits?
Yeah.
The last clip that you see is Alan Alda in a skull cap, basically.
Running along inside a Jeep or something like that.
He's turning his head and laughing.
In a hot second, but okay.
It is the exact same hat that Donald Sutherland wore.
I did not know that. That's kind of cool.
But
we touched upon the 4 episodes. I think I have them here. That with no laugh track. Point of View, which was shot from the perspective of a soldier with a throat wound going through, coming in on a chopper, going through surgery, waking up in post-op, and watching all the stuff going on around him. That was a very cool episode. Dreams was an idea of Alan Alda's, where during a deluge of casualties, a member of the 4077 take naps on a rotational basis, allowing the viewers to simultaneously see all of their disturbing dreams that they have. And the War for All Seasons, I don't remember this episode. A storyline that takes place over the course of 1951. I don't remember that one. And then Lifetime. Oh, Lifetime was one of the people filming. Oh, that's right. It was like a Life magazine person coming in and filming the day in the life of somebody at MASH. And so it was all kind of from the perspective of the camera and watching they were just asking the people questions and getting kind of real emotions. And sometimes it was funny, sometimes it was in the ER, stuff like that. I do remember that episode. So those I think were the 4 with no laugh track.
Tom Skerritt from the movie was
Yes.
actually asked to be in MASH, the TV series. He turned it down because he felt television version of a movie was going to be unsuccessful. The chair Hawkeye is sometimes seen sitting in the swamp has the serial number S9JPA. That means it was made out of discarded cases of rocket ammunition.
I guess there was a lot of continuity errors in the TV show. I didn't copy them down or write them down, but there was like at one point there was a cardboard box that showed up in a scene. In a blink or you miss a moment, if you look real closely at the lid, it has the recycle logo, which wouldn't happen for another 20 years.
Yeah.
They wore sneakers. I remember reading this one, especially when they were on the sound sets. They did not wear their boots because it was hot and they made so much noise on the floor that the sound guys it was just driving them wild. So most of the time they were wearing sneakers. And there was one episode where you could see Hawkeye in a pair of like kind of bright blue sneakers, but it was another one of those like quick miss it kind of things. What was the other thing? A lot of the comic books would not have been written during the Korean War. Like the Avengers came out 2 years after the Korean War was over, and then Radar's reading an Avengers comic, and there's just a couple of comics that didn't quite make sense and little stuff here and there, but we'll forgive them.
All right. Radar's character. Producers.
Hell you say?
All right. The producers intended to move up recurring character Sidney Friedman to a regular status to replace Radar.
Really?
But Alan Arbus turned it down. So, not wishing to commit to a full-time role, producers then considered G.W. Bailey to take over as Radar.
Oh, that was Rizzo. Yeah.
Yeah, the motor pool guy. Alan Alda nixed all of that and put Klinger in there.
I do remember a couple episodes where Radar was back in Iowa making phone calls to Klinger, and Klinger was trying to figure out what the heck to do.
That was a great
kinda
episode.
cool.
That was a great episode. Alan Alda became the first person ever to win an Emmy for acting, writing, and directing
producing. Oh, okay.
for the same series.
Didn't he win like 4 or 5 Emmys out of the 13 that the show won?
Let's see here.
This is just off the top of my head from reading. I didn't have this written down, but at least 4 were his alone.
I'm looking up his awards right now. And it looks like 4.
Okay. The location shots, the outdoor shots?
Oh, California.
Mhm.
I've actually hiked into it.
Nice. It is it's a state park now.
Yeah.
And you can go on like Google Earth and like see they still have a tent set up in one of the old transport truck Jeep
there's
thingies.
a transport truck, there's a Jeep, there's the
replica of the sign.
The sign is there. There's actual placards throughout the area explaining what the different areas were. But the landing pad is still there. So, and it is the exact same location that the movie was shot.
Oh, cool. That I did not know.
Well, if you watch the movie again,
Mhm.
you will notice that the landing pad is the exact same.
Nice.
So there you go. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Because I was going to go over episodes shown, like how many episodes each character was in.
Yeah, let's get into that.
So let's see. I just have the major characters here. Henry Blake was in 70 episodes. Trapper John McIntyre was in 72. Frank Burns was in 118. Charles Emerson Winchester was in 133. Radar was in 156 episodes. Sherman Potter was in 182 episodes. BJ Honeycutt was in 183 episodes. Father Patrick Mulcahy was in 213 episodes. Maxwell Klinger was in 217. Margaret Hot Lips Houlihan was in 239, and Hawkeye was in 256 episodes. So Hot Lips and Hawkeye were way up there. And even Klinger and the Father Mulcahy were up there. That over 200 episodes is a lot of shows.
Oh, heck yeah.
And BJ almost hit the 200 mark there.
Alan Alda, man. I think we need to talk about Mr. Alda, because the biggest reason that this show continued as long as it did was because of Alan Alda. Phenomenal actor in this. But as well, he, after the 4th season, I think it was, became a producer and also directed a whole bunch of the shows.
31 episodes directed, 13 written, if I recall. And he's had Tony Award nominations for his Broadway performances on The Apple Tree, Jake's Women, Glengarry Glen Ross, and has received a Grammy Award for Best Audiobook, narrating and storytelling for Things I Overheard While Talking to Myself. Interesting. Did not know that. Born in the Bronx.
The Bronx. People's Choice winner.
I forgot his dad showed up in the series at one point. Robert Alda. It was like a colonel or something. I forgot about that.
So he won People's Choice Award for MASH 1975, 1979, 1980, 1981, and 1982.
Wow. And apparently also got the Screen Actors Guild Lifetime Achievement Award.
He received the Directors Guild of America Award for MASH in 1977, 1978, 1982, and 1983. So a 4-time winner there. Golden Globe, 1982 for MASH. He was nominated in 83 for MASH. Writers Guild, 1977 MASH, 1981 MASH, 1984 MASH. His credits are undeniable. Turns out MASH kind of became his baby.
Yeah.
And he really kind of elevated MASH to what it was at the end. It became a really, really great drama with some comedy.
Yeah. Definitely a labor of love for the guy.
Yeah. I don't know what else to say about Alan Alda, but Alan Alda was MASH. MASH would not have lasted as long as it did if he hadn't stepped in and nurtured it, made it grow. And the cool thing about what he did was he took this comedy that was just
kind of fluff,
kind of college humor, and transformed it into something that followed the times as the times were going along. Like back in the 70s and 72 and 73, we wanted that comedy. We needed that comedy. We were in the middle of the Vietnam War where we shouldn't have been. Everyone in America was upset about that. So we had the comedic portion, but then he turns and makes it almost like honoring the people that were there.
It's socially relevant.
Yeah.
As opposed to just funny.
Yeah. It was a great transition.
It was subtle too. I mean, he knew you couldn't just, make an entire left-hand turn. You had to like ease into it, which was a smart way to do it. Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. Who else is on your list of favorites from the show? Do you have a list?
If I could hit my mute button, I'd tell you. It's like click. Come on, click.
I really have to get that.
Colonel Flagg.
Wait. Oh.
The CIA operative.
Oh, yes.
I loved him. He was only about 8 episodes, but I loved him. Jeff Maxwell playing Igor. That was the guy in the mess tent. He was just so deadpan. Yeah, he would just show up every blue moon and just have some scathing remark. It was awesome.
Yes, Private Igor Straminsky.
Yeah. Kind of going down through here. There's Judy Farrell. Yeah. Ho-John, actually, the guy played Ho-John in 7 episodes. So there's a character that came over, but not the same actor. Do you remember that No, I can't remember his name. That the guy playing Colonel Sherman actually showed up in like season 4 as a racist general.
Yes.
It was like one episode he showed up for a couple minutes. You're like, what the? It was like almost slightly crazy, if I recall. But
what's interesting about that is it reminded me of Colonel Hochstetter.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, Hochstetter was in an episode before that, and he wasn't Colonel Hochstetter.
Yeah.
But yes, Sherman Potter was on an earlier episode
As somebody completely different.
as somebody totally, completely different. All right, I was gonna give my favorite characters, and
I liked the psychiatric doctor.
that's my
Yeah.
choice for actually. You know what? It was a very hard decision because I love Klinger. Alan Alda, B.J. Honeycutt.
I mean, I really loved David Ogden Stiers, especially when I found out that like he that accent was just so spot on. You didn't realize that was not his real way.
Oh, I thought that's who.
Yeah. I thought he was from Boston. No, he's got this Midwest accent. He's hilarious. And I gotta admit, I really enjoyed like Larry Linville's character was a lot of fun. I mean, he had his ups, he had his downs, he was good, he was bad. He was fun to punch around, you know.
Yes. Alan Arbus. Here we go. Alan Arbus turns out to be my favorite character. Mainly because everyone is trying to get out of the army. And his entire job is, yes, to be a psychiatrist, but to look at everyone and go, yeah, no, you're staying in.
Yeah,
and
crazy.
his interaction with Klinger, like every time he has to go and evaluate Klinger, it's freaking hilarious. The fact there was one episode that I remembered when he walks into Harry Potter's office after evaluating Klinger and going, yeah, no, he's staying.
It was something like, I mean, you shouldn't wear white after Labor Day, but that's about the only crazy thing I can see you doing, or something like that. Yeah. Actually, Sherman Potter's first reaction to Klinger, as I recall, was hilarious because he like walks up and goes, you know, Maxwell Klinger, Section 7, head to toe, sir. And he said something about he's like, that dress is gonna dirty in this outfit. Getting changed into something different. It was just something so like matter of fact. It was like, damn it.
Absolutely. I mean, I actually, okay, so out of the two genres, the Henry Blake era, the Sherman Potter era, which one did you like better?
Well, I'd have to take the Sherman Potter era. But the later episodes are definitely much better. They're just more interesting. Like I'm sure because I kind of grew up watching it as a little kid. The first 3 episodes were funny because I was little and stupid. But as I was getting a little bit older and a little more mature, I mean, I think the show kind of grew with me, I guess, and I appreciated the later episodes a lot more.
I totally agree with what you just said. I think as we were growing up, MASH was growing up.
Yeah.
And yes, the 72, 73, 75 era was great when I was, you know.
Yeah, we were watching cartoons at the time. Yeah,
it was preteen.
Yeah.
It was funny. It was great. But by the 80s, I was almost an adult. I kind of started to understand the world. and I really enjoyed MASH.
Yep.
It became a staple in my house.
Oh yeah. Oh gosh, yeah.
Every night, what did you do? Turned on WUAB.
That's right. Like if you weren't watching the Muppet Show, you were watching MASH. That was just the way it was.
It's either MASH or Hogan's Heroes.
Yeah. Hogan's Heroes are all reruns. MASH was, much more relevant and up to date.
Uh-oh.
I guess when we come back, we'll probably talk about the end of MASH.
Yes, we will.
Okay.
We'll be right back for the next segment, everyone.
Take us out.
And tonight is my appraisal, 'cause I'm a hooker selling songs and my pimp's a record label. This world is full of demon stocks and bonds and Bible traders. So I do the deed, get up and leave a climber and a sadist. Yeah. Are you ready for the sequel? Ain't ready for the latest? In the garden of evil, I'm gonna be the greatest. In a golden cathedral, I'll be praying for the faithless. And if you lose, boo-hoo. Hey, look, ma, I made it. Hey, look, ma, I made it. Everything's coming up pieces, pieces. If it's a dream, don't wake me, don't wake me. I said, hey, look, ma, I made it.
Taxes was feeling so stuck. Sitting in traffic, squeezing into a parking spot, all to squeeze in getting tax help during your lunch break. Now Taxes is a TurboTax expert who does your taxes for you, while you go about your day getting real-time notifications about their progress and the most money back guaranteed. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. Get an expert now on TurboTax.com. Only available with TurboTax Live Full Service, real-time updates only in iOS mobile apps. See guarantee details at TurboTax.com/guarantees.
I like that. Who is that?
M83.
Okay.
I've played it before,
Yeah.
but I've had the convertible top down for the past 5 days, and my entire drive to work
Bless you.
is nothing but M83, just electronic stuff that just gets me happy to go to work. I mean, listen to it. It's like, this is the band. I showed you a video of a band where one of the guys does Running Man. through the entire
Oh
song.
yeah, yes, I do remember that.
That is
That's
this
song.
band. Yeah, it's M83. It's a great band. What was it? One of my friends looked to me. Is like, "This is EDM." And I'm like, "Suck it up, buckwheat! Freaking kick-ass shit!"
Good music is good music, no matter what the genre.
I don't care if they don't speak a lick of English in it, or they can speak gibberish. I don't care. It's great music.
That just reminds me of the ending song from KRP in Cincinnati. Not a single lyric in the whole song. It was all gibberish.
Freaking awesome. All right, so what was it? Yeah, you said that you had something to to add.
No, I mean I am all out of stuff, and I'm down to that final episode, I think.
Oh, we have to talk about the final episode. It was a weird episode. I hated seeing them dismantle the camp.
I'm trying to remember now. Is that the one where where Alda had the breakdown? And he thought that the lady killed the chicken, but it was actually a kid, or is that another episode with Sigmund?
No, I think that's a different episode.
Okay.
The very last episode was all of them finding out that they were going to be leaving Korea. And they had to break down the camp and all that stuff.
No. It is.
Oh,
Hawkeye
it is?
Pierce being treated at a psychiatric hospital by Sidney Freeman, revealing he suffered a nervous breakdown while working in the operating room. Oh, yeah, that was right. Yeah.
Oh. I totally forgot about that.
That's because it was dark. That's why.
The last episode of MASH was hard to watch. And I mean, it was sad all the way around.
Oh, that's right. Charles teaches a quartet of captured prisoners to do Mozart's clarinet quintet, and then they have to get sent off, or they had to go away. Klinger falls in love with refugee Soon Lee Han. That's right. They get married. I forgot about that. Yeah. Father Mulcahy loses his hearing while saving POWs under fire in the holding area. Nearby forest fire causes the camp to relocate. That actually happened in real life. They didn't incorporate it into the thing, but there were actual wildfires out in California, and they had to grab everything and move it somewhere else for a while.
That is one big pile of shit.
Oh God, we're on the shit thing again.
That's right. One of the musicians.
Every day, at least once a day, take a mighty shit.
Sorry.
Yeah, Winchester discovers one of the musicians brought in dead. The others, and that the others had been killed. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very dark episode, and once again, the audience was pissed off.
Yeah, I mean there was some good in it. Like Klinger, of all things, stays in Korea because he's in love with this girl and wants to try and find her parents, which is the exact opposite of what he's been trying to do for 7 years, is get out of Korea.
Take a shit.
All right, I have it cut down to where it's actually gonna be good.
Take a mighty shit.
Take a shit.
That's all.
So the goodbye, farewell, and amen was the most watched television broadcast in American history up until 2010. It's only eclipsed by a Super Bowl. That's it. 77% of people watching television in the United States We're watching the 2.5-hour series finale. Has there ever been another TV show that has had a 2.5-hour finale? I can't remember a single one.
Friends?
I doubt it.
Dynasty?
2.5-hour final? I mean, that's a lot of show. 121.6 million people watched that show. Advertising.
I think the stat that you said that needs to stick in everyone's head is 70%.
77, damn near 80%.
77% of Americans watched it.
Watching television, watched that show.
That is wackadoodle.
Advertising companies normally had to pay $30,000 for a 30-second commercial during the regular seasons. They had to pay $450,000 for a commercial in that last 2.5 hours season finale. A series finale, excuse me.
WUAB.
You like movies about gladiators?
BJ got his Indian motorcycle up and running. Alan Alda actually saluted Colonel Blake. There's just a lot of good stuff in there. He's hugging everybody. He's hugging. He gives Houlihan a huge kiss as he takes off in a helicopter. Yeah, it was a very fitting end to that entire series. It was a lot of good closure.
I would agree. I remember the entire family sitting around the couch to watch the finale.
Oh yeah.
And you remember my father.
Yeah.
My father stood up afterwards and he said something to the point of, "That was it?" Man, I love that, man.
It's like watching,
that
Avengers
was it?
Endgame, and watching Avengers Endgame and going, "That's all? That's it?"
Take a shit.
You have to cut out the massive shit part. That's even better. Take a massive shit.
I gotta find it, and I'm just playing with this one right now. Take a massive shit. Yeah. MASH is iconic, and I don't think you're ever going to see a series like this again. Seinfeld came close, but it wasn't the same context.
Yeah.
Seinfeld was just funny. MASH was really the first sitcom I remember watching that mixed real life with comedy.
And the reason that show works so well is because you felt that it was the only outlet that they had was playing pranks and drinking and debauchery and tomfoolery was the only way, in a crazy thing you had to, it was the only way to stay sane, basically, was to just be so out there. So the comedy was kind of organic, that it arose from the situation that they were in. It wasn't that they were funny people. They did funny shit because if they didn't, they were going to go insane.
Yeah. Part two of what you were just saying, the ability to ad-lib carried on from the movie to the TV show. which was actually a great way to get the actors
More involved in their character, or
yeah.
flush out their characters, or
I mean, we call it method acting when you delve into a character and live your life like that character. It's a heck of a lot easier to do when you're ad-libbing, because you have to live as that character. And it really worked for a lot of the people that were in the show.
they didn't realize the TV show got away with ad-libbing, but that's kind of cool.
Yeah, the TV show got away with ad-libbing here and there. But they carried that over from the movie. The movie's director was very big on letting them go.
Very liberal with, like, these are the lines, but roll with it. And some of the and ad libs often tend to turn out to be just gold.
I love ad libs. Oh, sorry, that was Mad Libs. Sorry.
Oh, my bad.
You like movies about gladiators?
Yeah, I do. I love movies, but anyways, so what did you rate the last show?
I mean, that's tough, because I mean, I'd literally been watching that show for a better part of a decade, so it was nice closure, and it was I thought it was pretty ballsy to go with. I mean, it was pretty dark in a lot of places, but really fulfilling in others. I mean, I think it was the ending that show deserved. So I mean, I think definitely rated 9 out of 10.
I would give it, okay. It was very hard to watch Alan Alda, who plays a character through the entire MASH series that literally keeps everything together. I mean, he is basically the glue.
The crazy glue.
Yeah. But you know what? He's the one that goes into the operating room and fixes people. He's the one that creates the humor to keep people from going nuts. So he really is the glue of MASH. And that final episode with him going crazy, it bothered me. But I have to give it a 10 out of 10 because of the fact that they brought closure to the show. Definitely. They kept comedy in the last episode. And part of that comedy is Alan Alda talking to Friedman.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the things that he's saying, you're just sitting there going, wow. Wow. It's probably the most entertaining 2 hours of your life after watching the entire series. And
you're gonna laugh, you're gonna cry, it's a roller coaster, but it's well worth the ride.
But totally worth it. Watch the entire season. Even skip a few shows. You can. MASH is one of those things that you can skip stuff. But watch the season, get involved, get invested in the characters, and that last show becomes a bombshell.
Yeah, it's a big payoff.
Yeah, totally. I have thoroughly enjoyed talking about MASH.
Yeah, I'd kind of forgotten about it until we started talking about doing it. I was like, man, I had really thought about it in quite a while. So it was kind of fun diving into it again. Definitely.
Hang on. We need some background music.
Okay. Gordon, we're gonna miss you.
Little bit of Gordon Lightfoot here. Hey, we didn't. Ooh. I so love this song. I think we're gonna have to play this up in Put-in Bay.
Heck yeah, boy.
Yeah. Gordon Lightfoot died yesterday. We've already talked about that. Rest in peace. One of the best songwriters I seem to remember from the 70s.
Yeah, he had a lot of good stuff.
Had a lot of good hits.
It's kind of the John Denver of Canada, if you want to look at it that way.
Yeah.
Not quite as big, but definitely up there.
He was born in Vancouver, wasn't he?
I think so.
I think when I was looking at his bio earlier, I think it said that he was born in Vancouver.
Take a shit.
He was born in Ontario and died in Toronto.
Toronto. Great city. Anyways,
City.
Gordon Lightfoot, many hits. Edmund Fitzgerald.
Oh, yeah.
Still my favorite song he ever did. Mainly because it was about the Great Lakes. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll be on the Great Lakes
Soon.
in September. Driving the BMW convertible.
I might drive my car also, just in case yours breaks down.
It's a Beamer.
With how many miles?
It's a Beamer. I have under 100,000 miles. How many miles do you have on your car?
60.
I have under 100,000 miles. I don't know what you're worried about.
As long as it's in good shape when you get up here, we'll just take that. Well, you know what? No. Just for luggage and ice chests and stuff, we might need the extra storage. Extra hauling capacity, I should say.
So we're going to pay $70 a piece?
Well, we could always, we'll think about the logistics of that. I was like, we could always park the one there and I don't know, carry stuff onto the boat. I don't know. I'll figure out something.
I think Bert just doesn't want to ride with me.
I actually do. I just want to make it back.
Don't beat yourself up over past mistakes. You are going to fuck up again in the future, quite possibly in the most spectacular fashion. Why?
Yeah, like buying a BMW.
Don't beat yourself up for buying a BMW. You will fuck up again. It's just natural. Did I ever get you to watch the the Japanese show? It was a goof show. Tokyo Breakfast.
No.
Oh dear God, I will. You must watch Tokyo Breakfast. And for anybody who's not seen it, I wholeheartedly suggest you watch Tokyo Breakfast.
Is this a person, place, or thing?
It is it looks like it is a Japanese show. It is not. I sent you a link to it so you can watch that. It's supposed to be a show about a family in their kitchen in their morning and everything. And it is hilarious. It's old too. It kills me. It's like one of the first, before YouTube, it was one of the first videos I ever really watched on the interwebs. But yeah, take a peek at that when you get a chance and enjoy yourself. And then you will understand my references to your BMW finally. And when the daughter comes in, it gets even better. Fix a lot of that in post. Just cut that whole segment out.
I was playing Forgiven by Sanctus Real before I started that, and it may cut straight into Sanctus Real again because that was bad.
Dude, you got to get to the daughter bit because that's where they talk about BMW. It's the best.
Okay, since I'm always bringing up the BMW, I may cut that out and make a drop kind of like this.
Take a shit.
It'll just be BMW 7 CDs.
Farfendugan.
Oh, God. I have too many.
Hey, try not to suck any dick on the way through the parking lot.
I didn't think that was what that was.
Oh, I sent it. You should have known.
I want to get some Mountain Dew. Yeah, sure, that's in the fridge over there. Thank you. I'll just take one. It says Mountain View. Oh yeah, that's Mountain View. Fan favorite drink. What the hell is this? Oh, it's like Mountain Dew, but in 4K. Okay, maybe not that one.
Fuck PowerPoint.
I don't even know what to say right now. Motivational moments by
we got to give that guy his proper credit. Find out who that is.
Oh,
it's
give
him props.
It is. His name is Masood. Hang on. Bear with. History. Where's my history? Tokyo Breakfast is coming up. Masood Boomgard.
Bless his heart. Love him.
MasoodBoomGaard. He is on YouTube. He's on Twitter. He's on TikTok. To die for. I'll put a link on the website when this episode airs so that you can go to his YouTube channel. And I really, really hope he is not pissed off at us.
Oh, dude, he's brilliant. What are you talking about?
Because this guy, I think we need to hire him.
All right, man. We should wrap this up. We have gone over our timer. And
hey, everyone. We just had Sanctus Real, though. That was awesome.
It was good.
That was good. That was... Shit, the vamp's loud. All right, ladies and gentlemen. For all your entertainment needs, go to davisanddavisshow.com.
And if you have to wear something and you want it to look really cool, you can also go to thedavisanddavisshow.com for your merch needs.
Oh, yeah. Everybody needs that hoodie. with Burke's face on the back.
Who doesn't?
As a matter of fact, I bought like 10 of them for Put-in-Bay to give to people. We'll be in Put-in-Bay in September. Everyone come on up. We're actually there for my birthday.
Sweet.
So I'm hoping the real bar has some love for us. Hey, we come out with a new show every Tuesday and Thursday unless I'm really, really busy and I can't edit. Although Bert keeps sending me stuff like, hey, here's this editing software. I already use it. Yeah, I already use it.
Well, I sent you something that you were like, I have to look at that. So I just come across stuff and I'm like, who knows?
Well, the one that you sent me about being able to knock out dead air, automatically, I was like, ooh.
Oh, hey now. We might have to play with that a little bit.
we might have to check that one out because we got a lot of dead air.
We got a lot of dead air.
Although
we stumbled quite a bit.
Although talking with Jordan, the dead air filter cuts it down so much that you're overwhelmed with the information. You're like, whoa,
there's
it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop.
Yeah, there's no breaks. It's just like you're constantly talking, and then you're more constantly talking, and then you're more constantly talking.
Hang on.
Google, when you go actually online to the Google podcast, there is a button you can click to do that, and it's just like nonstop. It's just machine gun fire talk, and you're like, slow down. I think the software has some settings to like ease it out a little bit, and you can always, like, when you're editing, like put some breaks in if you need. But I just thought it might help. I don't know.
Hey, brother, you said that you had trouble finding something on Google.
Oh, it's only on my phone. It's on our website. I don't know why it's not showing up on my phone, but it's definitely on our website, and I was listening through our website. So it's just probably because it's an Android phone. So no worries.
Okay. Well, I'm just trying to make sure that Google's not blocking our shows.
Oh, here, let me go on here. I mean, we could do this off air, but yeah, we'll check that out. Couldn't find one episode, so.
Hey, remember redcircle.com? We're on there. Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. We're all over. Come on in.
All over that.
Listen to us. We hope.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for coming. We will see you next week.
Have a great night.
Taxes was feeling so stuck. Sitting in traffic, squeezing into a parking spot, all to squeeze in getting tax help during your lunch break. Now Taxes is a TurboTax expert who does your taxes for you, while you go about your day getting real-time notifications about their progress and the most money back guaranteed. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. Get an expert now on TurboTax.com. Only available with TurboTax Live Full Service, real-time updates only in iOS mobile apps. See guarantee details at TurboTax.com/guarantees.